After leaving the Sentinel Limpopo Ranch, our next stop was just up the road at the Nottingham Fishing Retreat. We were the only people staying at the resort, but they told us to make sure we kept our doors locked because the monkeys, they can just open up the doors and wander right on in. And they're everywhere. As soon as we got settled in, we headed out on a boat ride with our host Brandon. He took us out to see some crocodiles and some hippopotamuses and to find a good spot for our sundowners.
Lifting his eye.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's looking side to side now.
Zoomed right in on his eyes. That's great. I'm gonna scream when he jumps.
He'll drop your phone. We lifted there a little bit.
Okay, this is Crocodile Island.
Oh, they're all starting to move. They're little ones.
10 and 11 crocodiles.
Oh, wow.
Last time I got really close to these guys, so I'm hoping we can again as well.
There's one out here swimming. Yeah, you can see them all swimming away. Are they swimming away because you're coming?
Yeah. That one's like, no, I like the sun. And those two birds have just taken off for
Mm-hmm. Oh. Wow.
Open your mouth.
9 hippo.
You can tell by his size.
Oh, he's blowing. Isn't that the warning?
Yeah.
There you go.
Now, does he come at the boat?
You'll see him coming under the water. You'll see ripples and bubbles.
So we found a great place to have our sundowners, a few Zambezi beers, and then we headed back to the retreat where we found a fabulous dinner waiting for us in the lodge. Waking up in the morning and where are we?
I don't know. Someplace
I've forgotten where we are.
in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, I know. The
Nottingham
name of the place.
Ranch.
We're in the Nottingham Ranch, right on the side of Nottingham Dam. And this is what we see out of our door. came upon a family of impala. These are all females. They always have a herd of all females with just one ram. In fact, when they get to be a certain age, they kick the boys out of each family. They have to go off and join a bachelor herd like this one until they're able to find a group of females all of their own. Then we drove out to Hyena Cave, but no hyenas today. Brandon brought us by the Nottingham Citrus Farm, a pretty big operation. They pick about 5 million oranges per day in season. We went out to the fly camp, which is a coliseum sort of arena where Andrew Knott, the owner of Nottingham Farms and Fishing Retreat, has this beautiful patio set up to watch the nightly activities. They take the oranges and the pulp from all the juiced oranges from the farm, and they bring them here every single evening, and it's amazing what happens next. This is a beautiful veranda that they have up on top for viewing. Plenty of cold beers up here, and of course we brought our own personal chef, so a great meal was to be had, all for Andrew's private guests. We got our iPhone set up on a tripod and attached a telephoto lens so that we could really zoom in on the nightly activities. And the first ones to show up was a herd of eland. Not a bad place for some sundowners. And then the baboons moved out of the way a little bit, and in came the elephants. These baboons look like little spiders crawling all over the face of the cliff. And then as it got darker, they turned the lights up all around the whole arena, and more elephants came in. It was just the coolest night. So to map out where we've been so far, our first day we started in Johannesburg in South Africa. We stayed there one night, and then we flew north to Bulawayo in Zimbabwe, and we were driven about 3.5 hours south to Beitbridge, and we stayed at 2 different resorts, the Sentinel Limpopo Ranch and the Nottingham Fishing Retreat, and these are both along the Limpopo River. And then when we left there, we were driven about 8 hours north to Hwange National Park, where we were met by Brian at Sable Sands Resort. And we got here just in time for sundowners. was already dark by the time we made it back to the lodge, but they had an excellent dinner waiting for us right next to the campfire. After dinner, we had to wait for an escort to take us back to our hut because of the danger of being trampled by elephants. It was very comforting to find that our escort was a 90-pound, 14-year-old girl.
Early morning game drive here in Hwange.
Someone else will do the
Hwange.
walk. Okay. We're off to
Early
see
morning
lions.
game drive. Kristen's buckled.
First thing on our game drive, we ran into a herd of hundreds of Cape buffalo.
Looks like they wear funny hats.
Our guide, Marcosini, told us that the male buffalo's horns are fused together in the middle of their head, and it looks like they're wearing helmets.
Please bear with us.
Ah, they're just dropping out of the trees.
Grab mama's
Early morning party. That's the Hortebak, the Gnu, and the Zebra?
Is the gnu the same as a wildebeest?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's the season. This is our resort in Hwange called Sable Sands. Everybody's got a little hut. There is only electricity for a couple hours in the morning and a couple hours in the evening. And then you get a couple climbed up to the top of an elevated lookout platform and just got to hang out there and watch all of the elephants heading to the watering hole at the end of the day.
They're going to the other water.
They changed their mind. And we watched the sun set as the elephants drank from the watering hole, and we enjoyed our Zambezi beers. And then back to the lodge for a fantastic fireside dinner.
Good morning. So today we're going on a game walk. And apparently there were lions in our camp last night. So our guide is going to go out and find out where the lions are. And we're going to go the other way. See how this goes.
This is our walking guide, Ray. He has incredible eyes and a really big gun. Our guide told us that we had to be extremely quiet on our walk that morning, which you can imagine was an incredible challenge for me. Bill was very impressed with how quiet I was that morning. After 2 fantastic days at Sable Sands and Hwange National Park, we said goodbye to our friends Brian and Marlene, and we were met by a new guide, Faith, who drove us to our final destination of our trip, Victoria Falls.